I am cancelling the rest of the HS2 project. We will reinvest every single penny in hundreds of new transport projects in the North and the Midlands across the country. This means £36 billion of investment in the projects that will make a real difference across our nation.
This is probably the biggest transformation in the railways and in the possibilities for economic regeneration that we've seen in decades, because Birmingham will be the hub of the new international and national network. This is a transformation of the possibilities for rail travel, and it will mean that more people will use the railways, and it will mean that the hub of these railways will be right here in the Midlands, the heart of British manufacturing.
A modern, fast, reliable railway that will transform connections between our cities, regions and the continent, truly rebalance our economic geography with a legacy of jobs, growth and opportunity for generations to come. It's about understanding that we have a responsibility to make choices today that will improve our economy and people's quality of life, not just in the next 4 or 5 years, but in the next 4 or 5 decades.
I think I just couldn't believe it in the first place, and you sort of looked and go, well, maybe it's just cutting like a corner of the estate, maybe it won't be like going through my house. But the more you look at it, the more you see that like the whole of our estate is going to go. We've been told that we'll get unblighted market value for our homes plus 10% compensation, and that they will pay all our moving costs. 10% isn't really a lot of money.
The North now needs both HS2 and Northern Powerhouse Rail to make a real start in tackling the North-South divide. Will the Prime Minister commit to publishing the already leaked Oakerville report this week and commit to delivering both these projects in full?
I think she's raising a very important issue. We are investing in £48 billion, a record £48 billion already in rail services, excluding HS2. It's right that we should look at the value that this country could get from a scheme as costly as HS2, rising now to £100 billion. I can assure her that the Oakerville report will indeed be published in full in due course.
The Cabinet has given high-speed rail the green signal. We are going to get this done.
HS2 protesters say they've dug and are ready to occupy a 100-foot tunnel network near Euston Station in central London. It's part of a campaign against the controversial high-speed rail project.
Hello, we're live at Euston Square Gardens. Very early in the morning. I don't know who's going to be watching this. We're in the midst of an illegal eviction.
They've been building up to this for some time. HS2 pushed ahead and have come in for the eviction anyway. So here we are.
The North of England have been betrayed because the Prime Minister made two very important promises. HS2 all the way to Leeds, a new line. That promise has been ripped up. He also promised the Northern Powerhouse Rail a new line from Manchester to Leeds, and that plan's been ripped up.
But you say there again you are committed to long-term decisions, and yet you are visibly refusing to make a long-term decision at this stage about HS2.
I am cancelling the rest of the HS2 project. When I looked at the reality of what people were being asked to do, the thousands of pounds people would need to pay, all of that disproportionately falling on the poorest in society, by the way, and all of it not actually necessary in those time frames to meet our net zero targets, and in spite of us doing more than any other country, I concluded it simply wasn't right.
it cannot be right that a project that we've all worked on together, and I speak for everybody behind me and with me, we've been at this for 15 years. I don't see how you can take a plan that goes beyond the life of any individual government and basically tear it up at a party conference. What has been announced today is not a solution to the east-west bottleneck that we face on the railways in the north. It does not deliver that new line. It involves patching up existing lines and leaving us with a problem that still has not been fixed.